Go, go.
You ready?
Always ready. Let's punch in. Hey, watch where you're going.
What did you say?
It's not like he can transform.
Hey, Darkwing.
Don't.
My finger can transform. Guess which one?
Allow me.
I appreciate you having my back.
No matter what.
Transformers 1 is the first animated Transformers movie in over 28 years, and it tells the untold origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron, better known as sworn enemies, but once were friends bonded like brothers who changed the fate of Cybertron forever. So I mentioned this last year when I reviewed Rise of the Beast. I freaking loved Transformers as a kid. I had the toys, the movies, I even had a Transformers bedroom at one point years and years ago. The only problem is that I grew up around the time of the Bay films, which, yeah, we all know are not the greatest movies. Okay, I will admit though, I actually did rewatch the first Michael Bay Transformers movie recently, and I don't care, I still had a lot of dumb fun with it. But like all the other sequels, yeah, no. But like most of you, when I saw the trailer for Transformers 1, I was just like, what the hell is this? I mean, cool, we're getting another animated Transformers film after years of countless live action films. But why do the Transformers have metal human looking faces? Why is everything so jokey and lowbrow? And why the fuck is Chris Hemsworth voicing Optimus Prime? I don't care what anyone says, Peter Cullen will always be Optimus Prime, no matter what Hollywood does to him. But then that second trailer came out. And instead of being heavily focused on the jokes this time around, it was much more focused on the action, the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron, and the fallout of them becoming sworn enemies, and it was just an all-around much better trailer. And look, I'm going to go watch a trailer, get an opinion on what I might get, but I still will not judge the movie as a whole until I see it in its entirety. Even if it's...
I am Steve.
That. But guys, I gotta let you know. After seeing Transformers 1 and constantly saying that this has been such a lackluster year for movies, which it has, I finally get to say, I have found a movie that has blown me out of the friggin' water, because not only do I love the fuck out of this movie, but oh my god, it possibly might be my favorite movie of the year. I'll just say it. We've never had a great Transformers movie. We've had good ones, of course, but there's never been one since the 80s animated film that has made me say, now that's Transformers. But ladies and gentlemen, I present Transformers 1, which is easily the best movie from the franchise in a long time. A long ass time. Yes, Bumblebee is really damn good, and I love the 80s animated film. But guys, this movie is so goddamn freaking good that I'm not even kidding. I shed a happy tear at one point. Like, this made me feel like a freaking kid again. This is what Transformers should be. God damn it, I love this fucking movie! And before I get into specific reasons why this movie works so well, let me point out 3 obvious signs that proves that this movie is 50 times better than any of the live action films. First off, it's animated, which is how the franchise started out. So, if you're thinking, oh, I ain't gonna go see this because it's animated, it started out animated, goddammit! 2, we are on goddamn Cybertron, which I've been asking for them to do a Transformers movie on fucking Cybertron for years. True, they were brutally on it in Bumblebee, but that was brief. This is an entire freaking movie. And the third and best part, no humans! No humans at all! We don't gotta follow Shia Buttfuck or Megan Fox just to get to the friggin' Transformers! God damn it, it's so friggin' good! I just broke my light. Okay, I had a little bit of an overreaction there, but guys, have you seen me react to a movie like this anytime this year? Okay, maybe Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's it. That's freaking it. I'm just so happy right now that there is a movie this year that I just, oh my god, it's just, oh, where do I even start? Right off the friggin' bat, I just love how they established this world and the characters. I was very skeptical at first with them doing an origin story about how Optimus Prime and Megatron were brothers, which actually before they were Optimus Prime and Megatron, they were Orion Pax and D16. But after seeing this movie, I love the brotherly bond between these two. Chris Hemsworth and Tyree Henry's voice acting was just freaking fantastic for these characters, and as the movie goes on, and these two start to choose different sides and have different outlooks on how they should deal with the situation that they're in, it legit becomes a little heartbreaking when we watch them become sworn enemies. I'm not gonna say what happens, but basically Orion and Dee get screwed over, and one just takes it so much harder than the other, and you really want to root for this guy, but you just know that this is not the right way to handle this situation. And one thing I'll say about D16, aka Megatron, this is probably the best depiction of this character since the cartoon, and he's handled so well here. I just love how at one point, before we find out why he becomes Megatron, there's just this one face, this one singular face that he makes, that you can just tell there's something changing within him. I mentioned how the first trailer had a heavy focus on the comedy and wasn't working for me, but after seeing the final product, I thought the comedy worked very well, was perfectly timed, and there were bits that actually got me to laugh very hard, and I like how it becomes less and less of a comedy as the movie goes on. The movie first starts off as like a buddy comedy with Transformers, so it obviously makes sense that there would be a lot of comedy. But towards the middle half, where D16 starts to lose it and become more like Megatron, that is where the movie starts to get so much more serious and action heavy, except for a few funny bits from B127. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Badassatron. Actually, speaking of Badassatron, this is one of the few family movies that heavily deserves this PG rating. There are body parts blown off, stabbings, bodies are mutilated, Orion Pax flips off a guy, and yes, Bumblebee does constantly call himself Badassatron. I'm legit shocked that with how the rating system works nowadays, that this did not get a PG-13 rating. But hey, you know the old saying, if it ain't red, it never bled. The climax also is the best in any of these movies, animated or live action. It's not a giant metal mess where everything is blowing up and they have to get a MacGuffin. It's well shot, the editing and sound design is perfect. It's just an all-around epic fight between two lifelong friends who are now enemies and have different motives, and I highly recommend seeing it on the biggest screen you can, just for the size and scope of the picture, and especially if you have a 40x screen near you. I also like that when Orion Pax has to tell everybody what's going on, there isn't this moment where he has to heavily convince everyone of what's going on, but like they just believe him immediately. And I like that just because we don't need a stupid moment where like, oh, he's a liar, we don't trust you at all. You also know that I was really into this movie when something happens to a character and my jaw was open, and I was just like, no! I'm telling you guys, this movie is that damn freaking good. Don't believe that first trailer. I already briefly mentioned this, but the voice acting is freaking incredible. It might be the best of the year. Aside from maybe Keegan-Micheal Key, I never once heard the actors playing them. I saw the Transformers, the ones I've known for years. I will also say, I wish this was the Transformers movie we got all those years ago back in 2007, because that would mean that we would have a fully animated Transformers movie franchise that felt the most accurate to any of the source material. Yes, it was cool at first seeing the Transformers on Earth and in live action, but after 7 movies of almost the exact same thing, you do miss seeing them on their home planet of Cybertron. And next to something like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I think this would have been one of my favorite movies as a kid, and one that I would constantly watch on repeat. If I had a slight nitpick, because I really don't have any issues, I will say that it did take a minute for me to fully get into it, and it does start off with some very kiddie dialogue, but it was a very quick minute, because it was right around when Orion and Dee enter this race that I was hooked, and then it just becomes a full-blown action movie from there on out. I'll just state it right now, I'm going to see this again immediately after this review is out. Transformers 1 is easily one of the best films of the year, if not the best. I don't care if you're a Transformers fan or not, you must go see this movie immediately. It's one of those movies that is so freaking great that I kind of hate myself for ever doubting it. I love the story, the characters, it's one of the best origin story films in years, and I highly recommend you go see this movie. It's a must watch. In between movies like this, Spider-Verse, and TMNT Mutant Mayhem, I think we need to start taking properties that start off animated, went live action for a while, and make them animated again, because it seems to be working out really damn well. And I think the best way to put it is that it is truly more than meets the eye. I don't care if every critic by now has probably made that joke, because it's true. And if you don't believe me that this movie is that freaking good, I'm going to be giving Transformers 1 a long overdue A+. People, you do not know how badly I want to see this movie again. I'm kind of on a Transformers 1 high right now, and it does feel so freaking good to finally give one of these movies, or any movie for this year in general, an A+. It feels deserved. Oh, by the way, do stay till the very end of the credits because there is something you're going to want to see. In between movies like this, Inside Out 2, and next week's The Wild Robot, animation is on freaking top right now. Ooh, we also got that Lord of the Rings animated movie in December. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn the notification bell, and while you're at it, go follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Trev's Movies, and I'll be back later with more reviews. See you then.